alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Safraz. I'm from Learn Arabic Through Images. Currently I'm working on a Quran project for children that have already sort of learnt the Arabic alphabets and want to sort of essentially learn the Quran now, and learn to sort of, as an elementary level, without sort of tajweed rules, but they sort of still learn to distinguish letters and so forth. So I've developed this program for them. The aim and objective of this video tutorial is to sort of give you an idea as to what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to take it at. My primary objective is to sort of develop an actual application. This is a very general program that I'm using. Anyone sort of can use this to sort of develop a very basic level. But my inshallah intention is that inshallah to develop an application for an actual application where people can sort of access it through the App Store or Android or whatever sort of platforms there are out there in the market right now. For smartphones and iPads and so forth. So please, inshallah, watch this tutorial and see and let me know, give me your feedback as to how I can sort of develop this. And if you know developers, if you know people that be interested in helping me, inshallah, that would be great. Please do help me in this regards. Jazakumullahu khairan, and let's get started. So as you can see, essentially what they're doing is they're pressing on the yellow dots and they're discovering a new letter of the Quran. So that's all they're doing, and as they press, they discover phonetically a new letter. Now I say phonetics because the old technique of pronouncing names of letters can hinder a child's progress, I believe anyway. So I use phonics, and as an immersion teacher as well, we don't employ naming letters per se, and essentially we focus on the sound of the letter or the phonics of the letter. Okay, so they've now at this stage, we're also the other thing I wanted to point out was, as I pronounce, or as these letters are appearing, I want voice activation. So it not only does the dot appear, so they've essentially they're touching each letter, but also they're vocally. Now this is very important. This is vital, in fact, of any child's progress, that they're vocally active as well. So I want some kind of a voice activation. So until once they've pronounced the letter, or once the letter appears, then it only allows them to progress onto the next letter once they've voiced this letter here, or phonetically pronounced this letter here, and it only allows them to progress on that condition. That they pronounced it correctly, and there are softwares out there, I know, that does allow this to do, but again, it's probably very sophisticated and probably costs a lot of money as well to develop. So this is why I'm trying to reach out to people. I'm looking for potential investors as well, inshallah. Vu.
Now you have 10 seconds.
And then it takes them
to blend those letters.
Automatically.
Wait for the sheep, guys.
To this here. And then it times them within a 10-second space. They have to blend these letters. Blending is just basically pronouncing the letters in a sort of more fluent manner. Okay, press the yellow dots again. So they're going through the stage again. This is just the learning stage at the moment. They're only learning new letters. They haven't gone into sort of exercises. I want to make interactive exercises as well, where they can pick up letters, or if the letters are sort of like jumbled up, they can sort of slide them, and make these words, or inshallah, in its correct sequence.
U, U, Zu, A'udhu, U, U, Zu, A'udhu.
Okay, the other thing I want to do as well is I want them to be, I want them to be using their fingers. This allows them to sort of identify letters. So let's say hypothetically, I don't know how to sort of hold this camera and show you, but let's say, there you go. No, okay. I can't do it. There, maybe. I can't hold my camera and show you what I mean. But on the iPad, let me see if I can quickly show you on the iPad. Okay, look, there we go.
Now you have 10 seconds to blend those letters. Wait for the sheep, guys.
A'udhu. Okay, as you can see, a lot of the letters are displaced because of the program that I'm using. Again, it's not a programming tool, hence why it's all sort of distorted. Because I initially made it on the on the Mac, and sort of trying to sort of convert it for the iPad isn't the greatest of ideas. But anyway, inshallah, it's just a demo. Okay. Again, I want it to be voice activated as well. So B, yeah. So as I press the letter, the sound comes, and then they're only allowed to move on once they've vocally pronounced, or once they've pronounced this letter here, and that's vital. Again, I know I'm sort of repeating myself, but it's essential as part of children's sort of ability to learn and to recognize, because as they sort of experience letters, it helps them to pronounce, because it helps the prefrontal cortex, where memory, where you sort of store information. It sort of helps them significantly. And La. Again, the writing text, even on the Mac, isn't very good. These are things that we can work on, that I'm working on. Billahi. Okay, so now it's going to take me through this method again.
The la has a W a shadda,
See now,
which joins the B, la, billah. And it also has a long line or a long stretch.
essentially it's that. Again, lots of improvement, more, if there's more sort of input from people helping me to sort of correct a lot of the method, then inshallah we can really take this forward.
B.
Oops, so let me go back to the Mac because the text tends to be a lot better.
B. La. He. Now you have 10 seconds to blend those letters. Wait for the sheep, guys.
Yeah, so now here what they're doing is they're blending, and you will only allow them to move on to the next word if they've pronounced the letters correctly. So
B.
B, la.
La. He.
Yeah, it's again as part of the immersion technique. We're introducing
La.
concepts. So they've tried
The
something,
la
they
has a
might not
W,
necessarily get it
a
right,
shadda, which
but now
joins the B,
it's sort of explaining to them
la,
this concept.
billah.
It's
And it
acquainting
also
them to
has
the
a
letters first,
long
and then
line
introducing
or a long
new concepts.
stretch, which makes it billah, billah, he. Me. Na. Now you have 10 seconds to blend those letters. Wait for the sheep, guys.
Okay, I think you've probably watched enough to sort of get an idea, and hopefully the description and where I want to sort of take it might also help you. Just actually one more thing. I wanted to also sort of explain that, and I think I briefly mentioned before, is I want to sort of create other exercises. So this is just a lesson plan. Essentially this is learning at this stage. But then there are no sort of real exercises, although they are sort of learning and sort of tapping away and doing that. But exercises in terms of maybe they can drop and drag letters on sounds that they hear. So for example, if this sounded the letter me, so I pick up this letter. Oops. Or let's I'll give you another example. If this sounded, for example, the letter dhu. So I look for it. Dhu. Oh, there it is. And then I pick it up. And I drop it on top of the sound, and then it tells me dhu. And then it sort of essentially has a tick or something to sort of indicate that the child has got it right. And then if this sounded the letter ru, then I look for the letter ru. Oh, there it is. Ru, pick it up, and then drop it, and then it sort of sounds a letter and tells me that I've done it correct. Inshallah, there are other ideas as well, lots of things, and I know I'm kind of probably boring you guys at the moment, but hopefully this is giving you a brief outline, and there is nothing there at the moment in the market, and Muslims need to be doing more in education to sort of help children enjoy and make it a memorable experience. I mean, alhamdulillah, I was kind of fortunate towards the end of my Islamic education in a maktab system to have some, teachers that had a real impact on my perception of life and so forth. But most people don't, and they go through this sort of very timid and boring method. So So I want to make it, inshallah, more interactive for children, and a memorable experience. So Jazakumullahu khairan. Sorry for taking up your time, and I hope this is the description, the oral description, and the visual has given you an idea. So please, brothers, let's get the ball rolling, and bi'idhnillah wa natawakkalu alayhi. Let's look for investors, application developers, and so forth. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.